Hello everyone, this is Parlays Unleashed with another predictions and breakdown for the upcoming fight, Canelo versus Crawford, happening live on Netflix in September. It's going to be an amazing fight. I hope you guys tune in and watch it. I want to address some things that are being said about Canelo versus Crawford that are simply true and untrue. The first thing is people are saying that Crawford's resume does not match up with Canelo's resume. And to be honest, that's just not true. Crawford's resume is amazing. It is great. It's impressive. He did not duck anybody. He did not run from any competition. He fought the best that he could with what he was given. There was people that avoided Crawford. There was people that didn't want to fight him. People are saying that Spence was coming off of a car accident. I mean, that is true. Car accidents are going to change anybody, but that's something that Crawford just cannot control, and he should not be shamed for. He still beat Spence in a very dominating fashion, more dominating than most people thought was going to be, and that should still be taken into consideration. Crawford is an elite boxer with elite talent. He's fought some of the best boxers in his division, and that alone should be enough. Despite what you think about the competition or despite what you think about who he fought, it is still elite competition, and he did not duck anybody when it came to his division. He fought the best that he could. The next thing is Canelo has not fought any great boxers recently. And whenever you talk about Canelo's recent competition, you can't just simply talk about the names that he's fought. Canelo is 5'8", and this guy that I'm showing right now is Jamie Munguia. Jamie is 6'1", probably walks around at 205, and that is the talent that Canelo is facing. Whether you look at school, whether you look at Jamie Munguia, Bolanga, I mean, these guys are 6'1", 6'2", 6 feet, walking around at 205, 210. I mean, Canelo shouldn't be beating these guys at all. Despite what you think about them, Canelo is simply fighting bigger men. Canelo's fighting bigger boxers that have a lot of punch-out power. Jamie Munguia, to me, should have knocked out Canelo. And Canelo just has one of the best chins in the game. And when you bring up Canelo's competition, you just can't bring up the names. You have to bring up the fact of who he's boxing and the people that he's facing. The next thing is Crawford's legacy will be stained if he loses. This is just an untrue statement altogether. Crawford is going to be really challenging himself going into this fight because he's going up technically 3 weight classes. Some people will say 2, but honestly it's 3 weight classes. Crawford is going up 3 weight classes and fighting a guy that fights bigger guys. A lot of boxers, whenever you talk about the likeness of Floyd Mayweather, all these guys, that some people say, hey, they fight older people. They fight people out of their prime. They fight these guys too young. You just can't say that about Canelo. Canelo's fighting bigger boxers. Canelo's fighting younger guys than him, people that are heavy hitters. So Crawford is really challenging himself a lot. So it's kind of like Canelo versus Bivol. Bivol was 6 foot fighting in light heavyweight. You can't hang that loss over Canelo's head. He was challenging himself. And when you challenge yourself to be great, that's a lot different. And the next thing is Floyd and Bivol have laid out the blueprint for Canelo to follow, for Crawford to follow, my bad. The thing is, Floyd fought Canelo when he was 23 years old. He wasn't as experienced, despite what you want to say, because when we talk about Bernard Hopkins facing Roy Jones, I mean, Bernard Hopkins went on to become one of the best champions in history after he fought Roy Jones. So age does matter when you fight somebody. When you're inexperienced, and I think Bernard Hopkins, when he fought Roy Jones, he was 26 years old. So Canelo really does not get the same grace because of the fact that he's Mexican. Despite what anyone wants to say, when you talk about Roy Jones versus Bernard Hopkins, James Toney versus Roy Jones, I mean, those guys went on to become great champions after they, faced an elite fighter. And that's the same thing that happened to Canelo. And whenever he fought Bivol, it was just simply a mismatch. That's just what it was. Canelo was 5'8" and just couldn't get over the jab. So I don't think it's necessarily a blueprint. Crawford definitely has some film to watch and a little tips to go ahead. But to be honest, Crawford's going to have to figure out what works for him. He's going to have to come up with a game plan that leads him to victory. And if he can do that, we may see a victory in Crawford's favor. But as far as a blueprint, there is no blueprint to beating Canelo. It's just coming in with the right game plan that works for you. Crawford definitely is going to be studying film, studying what worked for other guys, and seeing what he can do to help himself get to where he needs to be. I definitely think Crawford has a chance here. Crawford is still an elite boxer with a lot of, time left in him if he wants to go on. But to be honest, there's just a lot of thinking that's going to have to come into a fight like this, especially considering Canelo's usually fights bigger men. So it's just a lot of thinking that goes into this one. The next one is going to be Crawford will be able to get a KO. As we know, Canelo has one of the best chins in boxing. Do I think Crawford has knockout power? Absolutely. But when you talk about Canelo fighting those big guys, Balaga landed a flush punch on Canelo in his fight. Bivol just simply could not stop Canelo. To me, Bivol should have been able to stop Canelo. I mean, you're that huge. You're fighting in light heavyweight. The biggest thing when people move up in weight is, can they handle the power? That's the main thing being said about Crawford fighting Canelo. Can he handle that knockout power that Canelo has? To me, Bivol should have been able to knock out Canelo. The fact that he couldn't even wobble Canelo shows me how great that chin is. Do I believe Crawford can knock out Canelo? No. And I think anybody that believes that is just absolutely ignorant. Is there a way for Crawford to put a stop to to this fight? Yes. That's if he's able to land those body shots and get him tired and things of that nature. But you're talking about the possibility that Crawford's not going to get hit any of those rounds with a power punch. That's really what it comes down to. Do I think Crawford stands a chance in knocking Canelo out? No, there's just not really a chance in that. He's going to have to find a different way to win. A lot of people are saying that Canelo has not been able to knock out anyone as of late. Like I said in one of the past slides, Canelo's fighting bigger guys. He's 5'8", fighting guys that are 6'1", 6 foot, 175 pounds, 180, walking around 200, 205. Canelo's just fighting bigger competition. And when you go up in weight, that's one of the things they talk about. Can they take the knockout power with them? Can they knock out the people the same? Can they control the fight? Can they outbox that opponent? Canelo's been outboxing his opponents, despite them being bigger, despite them being taller. If you look at the size difference between Canelo and some of the competition he's faced, it's insane. Your coach, if you ever have done boxing or MMA, you're going to look at the stats. You're going to look at the dimensions when you fight somebody. You're not going to be 5'8", looking at someone that's 6'1", and telling yourself you can win it. That's just something you don't do as a fighter. To me, it is shocking that Canelo is winning these fights. It's an amazing thing to see, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be an interesting fight in general. Canelo he's not going to get as many knockouts as you would see him in the lighter rounds. And that's just common sense. If you know boxing, you know boxing. If you know MMA, you know MMA. When you go up in weight, you may not be able to get the knockouts. You should rely on your skills, your speed, and your ability to outbox your opponent in fights like this. But Canelo, when it comes to Crawford, he will be able to get a knockout. That's a possibility. My prediction for this fight, to be honest, I think this is just a money fight. I hate to say it that way. Yes, I want it to be competitive. Yes, I want it to be exciting. I don't think it's going to be that way. Canelo signed a full fight deal coming into this fight. Crawford signed a one-fight deal, and he's even said out his own mouth that this is a retirement fight. And to me, that means winning isn't number one to him. When you didn't do that well at 154 and then you're going to go up again to fight at 165 against a guy that naturally fights bigger men, I just don't see how you think that you're going to win that fight. I believe in confidence. I agree that Crawford has a lot of confidence coming into this fight, and he should. You should have confidence in yourself. I agree. But if you're telling yourself that you're going to come into this fight and you're going to fight Canelo that, is laying out those big old guys, say what you want. That's just not something that happens. There is weight classes for a difference. A lot of people have said it, and, I don't know if any of my fans have done boxing or MMA, but, I've trained in it and have done it myself, and there is weight classes for a reason. There's reasons why people rehydrate the way they do. There's reasons why people cut weight the way they do. And you would never see someone going to your gym that's 5'8" fighting someone that's 6'1", 6'2". It just simply does not happen. At the end of the day, Crawford has deserved this payday. Crawford has worked for this payday. He deserves that payday, and he deserves every bit of that money. Do I think that Crawford stands absolutely no chance? No, I think Crawford comes in there with a good chance to win. It's just not an amazing chance. I think the betting odds is set up to promote the fight. I seen them be 200 for negative 200 for Canelo, plus 180 for Crawford. They want people to bet for Crawford. Them betting places want you to do it. I believe they're going to make their money's worth that weekend. But Canelo is just simply going to be the better boxer in this, and that's just what it is. Crawford is an amazing fighter, and he deserves all the credit for what he's doing. He's going to go in there and I'm guarantee you that he's going to get a game plan going to outbox Canelo to some extent. And he's going to win some rounds, don't get me wrong. He's going to win a couple rounds, but people are saying things as if he can avoid a power punch for 12 rounds, or he can avoid getting hit by Canelo for this long. That's just not what's going to happen. At the end of the day, Canelo's fighting bigger opponents, and he's having to strategize around that. So Canelo can literally sit back and just focus on skills now. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to drop another breakdown video as the fight gets closer. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I want you guys to like and comment your predictions underneath this video. I'm going to produce a lot more content coming up soon, so I hope you guys really tune in and subscribe. This has been a very fast-growing channel, and I'm super excited to see where this goes. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. We stream video games on there almost every night. Funny gaming sessions, amazing. I play with a lot of people that are just simply great characters and personalities to laugh at. Just a good time gaming. But I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, and share. Like I said, comment what your predictions is, and I'll definitely get back with you, and we can have a debate in the comments. Thank you, guys.